Radiant team ban.
Hello, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Thunderfunking DotaCast. I am Cranberry Thunderfunk, and I am very pleased to give you Game 3 of a best of 3 between FlipSide Tactics and Quantic Gaming in the RaidCall EMS Summer 2013 main event. These are the group stages, so these two teams are battling it out for a place in the playoffs, and they are 1-for-1 right now. Quantic taking Game 1 with the Chaos Knight Wisp, superbly executed. No fault there. FlipSide, they just crumbled under the pressure of the relocate ganks and gave up about a 30-minute GG. Game 2, FlipSide takes it with a very aggressive lineup with tons of ways to initiate. Blink daggers on Nyx Assassin, Batrider, and Puck. So many ways for them to get into the fights and pick off the tri-core lineup that Quantic went for. And Quantic calling what I believe to be a very early GG at 23 minutes in. FlipSide, they had maybe a 4,000 XP advantage and a 3,000 gold advantage. Not a lot. Things were trending in favor of FlipSide. There was a bit of a snowball going on where Quantic was not able to get any of the farm that they needed, and they were falling behind. Nevertheless, a very early GG when only one tower in the game was down. So hopefully there will be no early GGs in this Game 3, and I'm excited to see how it's going to play out, because both teams, they seem to be evenly matched, or at least in in the same tier. And I'm pleased with the performance from FlipSide so far. This is a more cohesive squad than we've seen from Absolute Legends in the past. FlipSide is the new rebranded, new sponsored team that used to be Absolute Legends, now FlipSide. And they seem to be performing well, so pretty happy to see that. FlipSide, they managed to get the Wisp this game, so this could be very interesting. The bans are almost identical to the first two games. The Slark, Treant Protector, and OD all seeing first bans. Only difference there being Lone Druid. Some teams are... It seems that certain teams like to play Lone Druid, others are ignoring him as a result of the nerf. It was definitely the case with Lone Druid that the armlet made him a lot easier to play and made his effectiveness right in the early to mid game pretty ridiculous, because it was just such an efficient item to get. So I think that some teams because he doesn't have quite that guaranteed early mid game presence, doesn't fit into their style so much anymore, and some are not as comfortable playing him because there's less options about where you can lane him. Many teams, Alliance, they'll still run Lone Druid in the off lane, but many teams do not because they don't want to risk giving up that 300 gold bounty. Quantic responds to the Wisp by getting a Batrider and a Gyrocopter, which I think are they're decent at dealing with the Wisp, and inevitably the Chaos Knight. Have not seen... I think the only team that has run something besides a Chaos Knight with Wisp is Alliance, and they've done things like Ricky, Phantom Assassin. They've gone for a number of options. Actually, I think they've also done Alchemist.
10 seconds.
So Chaos Knight is probably the best combination with him, and it's no surprise. But personally, I would like to see some different combinations with him. Would make the Wisp pick just a little more exciting, because I do love Wisp, really do. Very exciting hero, changes the way the game is played entirely. But such is the way it shall be. But Gyrocopter I like against the Wisp because he's got burst damage, the call down, and flat cannon. It's a lot of guaranteed damage onto Wisp as well as Chaos Knight's illusions. So if Gyro is able to get some farm and get some items up and survive the initial round of stuns, then he can do really well. Especially if once he gets his BKB, and you can pretty much guarantee that he's going to be picking up a BKB in this game because there's a Wisp Chaos Knight. You don't have a choice. You have to get it. Clockwork and Bane banned out from FlipSide, which I think they're they would be fairly strong picks versus Wisp and Chaos Knight. Clockwork able to provide long-range support for the target of a relocate gank, hookshotting in, cogs, can really screw over Chaos Knight pretty badly. It's dangerous for Clockwork, but if you're saving your carry, then it's all worth it. And you can also, with mini stuns, interrupt the relocate on IO. So that's another option there. And Bane as well, with Fiend's Grip and Nightmare, she can immediately shut down both IO and Chaos Knight. Nightmare IO, Fiend's Grip, Chaos Knight, and it's a good time all around. Everybody has fun, except for, you know,
5 seconds remaining.
Wisp and Chaos Knight.
Reserve time.
A Darkseer pickup for Quantic seems to suggest that they're going to be going for a little bit more of a team fight oriented sort of play, which I think is also very wise versus the Wisp and Chaos Knight. One of the only reliable solutions for dealing with relocate is to stick together. And if you don't have a team that wants to be doing that, or that is good at doing that, then you really suffer, because then you group up, you lose team fights, you spread apart, you get ganked. And in fact, that's what IG in the Dota 2 Super League recently, I think it was, actually it's about 2 weeks ago, but IG has really suffered recently because of their inability to handle the Wisp Chaos Knight. They wanted to go for their traditional aggressive lineup, picking Bounty Hunter and trying to rack up track kills, but Bounty Hunter is not particularly great versus Wisp and Chaos Knight. It's just the kind of dives and aggression that you want in order to be acquiring track gold from those kills is exactly what IO and Chaos Knight love to see. With an Undying pickup, I think we can expect a tri-lane out of Quantic. Undying is typically more of an aggressive tri-laner, but he can be put defensively. But it indicates that Quantic is looking to be in a tri versus tri, and I think Undying is also very strong. He's one of the best tri-laners in the game because of Decay and Tombstone, stealing lots of HP, providing nice control and zone, more zone control, I would say, than specific control over the heroes from the zombie slow. But it forces supports to make a choice about how much they really want to engage in the fight, and you can really guarantee that, you know, if you manage to catch somebody out, that nobody else is going to come join, because nobody wants to step into the Tombstone. So I suspect that Quantic will be going for the aggressive tri-lane. They did that last game and it didn't really work out for them, but I do believe that the aggressive tri is a necessary thing to do against IO and Chaos Knight. It's just it's the only way to slow down their laning, because Wisp is not a great tri-laner. Offers very little besides regen.
Weaver.
And some harassment through the spirits. FlipSide, they take the puck for mid, and a Weaver that will most likely be going into the off lane. A greedy lineup so far. A very greedy lineup, because all 4 of these heroes need farm. IO, even as a support, is much more efficient when he's able to acquire Mechanism, Urn, Mana Boots. Any kind of regen item is very efficient on IO and really increases the survivability of Chaos Knight by more than double. I mean, honestly, it's more regen and healing on IO means longer lasting overpower, or I should say less risky overpower, so that you're not constantly sitting at 10% HP. And I don't know where IO is going to be getting farm when there's, I mean, Weaver will do fine, particularly if it's a, you know, if it is the aggressive tri-lane from Quantic, then Weaver will be able to do fine in that 1v1, and Puck solo mid should also be okay. But we shouldn't. I think Quantic, with this team fight, they're going to be pushing towers hard. They're going to be applying pressure earlier than I think FlipSide will be comfortable with. All these heroes need their farm to be effective. You have to have a BKB on Chaos Knight. ideally an armlet and drums, and all those things are they're really necessary to make Chaos Knight become the beast that he wants to be.
Reserve time.
And Puck has to get the Blink Dagger. Weaver needs an enormous amount of farm to be a threat. And Quantic goes for the Naga Siren last pick. Very strong tri-lane hero, and also I think I like it quite a lot. Naga's a very good way of dealing with relocate ganks. You can pop the sleep and basically completely nullify the strength of a relocate. You can just say, hey, we're done here. We're leaving. And IO and Chaos Knight have wasted all their time, or you can even set up around them. So I really like the Naga pick. And Naga is also a great tri-laner. Really good tri-laner.
Reserve time.
I will say, this appears to be a support gyrocopter, with Batrider almost certainly going mid, Darkseer likely in... He could also go mid, but likely in the safe lane.
Crystal Maiden.
So that'd be a gyro undying Naga tri-lane. Oh, it's a support Naga with fuckingmad on there. Unless Quantic has been known to switch up their roles occasionally, but no, with Silent on the gyrocopter and fuckingmad on Naga, this is a support Naga. They've taken the Naga solely to get her to 6, to make use of her sleep, and for her net. The net is what makes her a good tri-laner, as well as the Riptide. Minus armor, increases the effectiveness of auto attacks by quite a lot, and it's a very reliable nuke. It's large AoE. If you're able to get the illusions up, unlikely that Naga will have the mana for that in this lane, but being able to cast the Riptide through her illusions makes it very easy to get that nuke off. So I really like Quantic's team. I think FlipSide's going to have a lot of problems in this game, and the Crystal Maiden pickup, it's okay. It does soften the blow of these weak lanes early on, but not good anti-push, not great team fight. So running through the lineups here. On the Dire side, we've got Quantic Gaming. Funzii, he'll be playing Batrider, likely headed mid. Sockshka will be on Darkseer, headed towards the top lane. He's going to get a shitload of farm here. He'll have the top lane to himself, and he'll have the jungle to go into. So we can expect a lot of items on him early on. Goblak, he's going to be playing Undying, fuckingmad on the support Naga Siren, and Silent on Gyrocopter. For FlipSide tactics, on the Radiant side, we have Mania playing Chaos Knight, Unicorn on Weaver, Miracle on that Crystal Maiden, ryze on the IO, and Miggel on Puck once more. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a support Naga, but very viable, and I think it makes the late game of Quantic real juicy. All of these heroes from Quantic scale pretty decently. Undying, the least so. And when Undying is the least powerfully scaling hero on your team, then things are looking pretty good past the 30-minute mark.
My powers regenerate.
And the team fight is fantastic. I mean, they have a lot of AoE. This is a smart rotation from FlipSide. I like this actually quite a lot. So they're running a 2-1-2. So Mania and ryze heading to top, going up against Sockshka. Sockshka will be fine in this lane. He shouldn't have any deaths, and it will be... Mania's going to take a lot of harassment dealing with the Ion Shell. But this is a lot more guaranteed farm than I think that that Quantic would be able to get if... And they're rotating. They've identified the 2-1-2, and this is very smart from FlipSide, I have to say. The support Naga works a lot better in a tri-lane. Without the Undying their sustain goes down. Although, I have to say, I don't know... I feel like Goblak could really stay at bottom. Sockshka can handle this up at top. He really can. The Reality Rift and Chaos Bolt are not that dangerous for him. He's got Surge. So I question this rotation from Quantic quite a bit. But yeah, Naga gets a lot less useful when there isn't more damage and more follow-up to the net. Because you get the Naga support Naga in the tri lane for the net. That's what makes it so good. Nevertheless, she is still pretty decent versus Unicorn. Weaver is revealed by the net entangle. Ensnare even. So his Shikuchi is a little less reliable. Oh, Goblak's gotta be careful here. Of course, he has 4 stacks of decay, so he's doing all right. And actually, I'm kind of surprised here that FlipSide doesn't attempt to challenge these pulls a little more. They're losing experience. But again, I really think this is a fantastic adaptation by FlipSide. Would not have suspected it whatsoever, but I mean, Weaver and Crystal Maiden, that's a great lane. Very safe farm for Unicorn in this lane. And he's going to take a lot of harassment. And has to be careful of the invisible Naga. Because one net and a few auto attacks as well as a rocket barrage could be his death. So with Goblak up at top, he'll be making the pulls happen for sockshka. And I guess I will say that the rotation from Goblak is not completely ridiculous, because their priority number 1 is to slow down the Wisp and Chaos Knight, and with pulls from Goblak, they'll be able to do that. Denies a pretty fair amount of experience. I mean, you can already see, like, level 4 and 3 on sockshka and Goblak respectively versus 3 and 2 on Mania and Ryze. So it's working. They're not going to get any kills in this lane unless there's a major misplay. But it does slow down the Wisp and Chaos Knight and gives more room for Quantic in this game. And I think that may have been a lot of trouble for Quantic down in this the aggressive tri lane if they had gone for that, because as soon as the relocate was up, they could have turned it into a 4v3, no problem. Taking a look at the last hits. Early advantage out of the gate for Quantic. Not too surprised by that. I think mostly because of this top lane, sockshka is just gonna be getting so many last hits. And there's a lot of easy ways for fuckingmad and Silent to take down these creeps, and they have pretty decent lane control. The harassment from Miracle and Unicorn is not enough to scare them off. Be curious to see what build Miracle chooses for Crystal Maiden. There's some stats that show that maxing Aura is actually has the highest win rate, which I can definitely believe. I mean, you look at their mana pools right now, and Chaos Knight could be using his Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift for harassment. And similarly, Ryze could be using his Spirits to deal damage, which I think they really should be. They don't need to be sitting on all their mana unnecessarily. But also in mid, Puck benefits so much from mana. I think FlipSide needs to win their lanes hard, and the best way to do that is to make sure that they're spamming mana. It does get the second point in Crystal Nova, but I really hope to see more points in the Aura relatively soon. And yeah, he drops a little low, but he's going to be okay. He's got Salve. Miggel's actually having a really tough time up against funzii mid. Funzii's 32 and 10 versus 15 and 3 on Miggel, and that's not really supposed to happen. There's actually a haste rune on funzii right now, and once he pops some bottle charges, he'll have the mana for lasso. This could be a kill. He's sitting just on the sides. I don't think that FlipSide is aware. However, oh, Mania. He gets pulled back. There's the lasso. Actually, First Blood goes down at bottom. Silent picking that up. 4-second Chaos Bolt. Very lucky for Mania. Miggel shows up. He gets a Dream Coil on 2, and so there actually will be no kill for Quantic up in this top lane. Really looked like they might have had it. But down at bottom, there's a 1-for-1 trade between Silent and who went down? It was Miracle. So a support going down and Unicorn picking up a carry. It's pretty much an even trade because Silent got the first blood. And Unicorn, he's got to be careful. He does not have a lot of mana, and I mean, again, maybe. Oh, up atop. Nope, in middle. Batrider goes down. I think that was just a regular old-fashioned teleport from Mania, going in to support Miggel, slowing down Batrider's lead that he's maintained so far.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So 2-for-1, 7 minutes into this game. Oh, there's a freeze on the gyrocopter. Net on the Miracle. Look at how the damage he's taking. Finished off with the damage from Rocket Barrage. And I think at a certain point, fuckingmad and Silent realized that actually another kill on Batrider middle. Mania just stayed. And I wish I'd seen what happened there. Just kills simultaneously across the map. So yeah, fuckingmad and Silent have realized that all they need is the net, and they can just
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
tear Crystal Maiden apart.
Dire's structures
But
are
I think the more
fortified.
important kill really is the 2 kills on funzii over in mid. It means that Mania has gotten a lot more farm and actually leaves ryze alone up in this top lane to get his level 6. But they also got a lot of damage onto the mid tier 1, so that could be going down relatively soon if FlipSide so chooses. They're not really eager to push. They don't have a good pushing lineup. They can blow through the creep waves, but they don't have no ways of boosting tower damage or tanking tower damage. Miggel, he's got an invis rune. He may spot funzii here. It's nighttime, so vision radius is a little bit reduced. Funzii really just wants to farm up his blink dagger. Nice little nice play here from Miggel, stopping the stacking of the pull, which funzii has not noticed. He actually got the timing right, and so they should have spawned, but there's the Dream Coil spawn. He is able to get his Firefly off in time. Reality Rift pulls him back, 3-second Chaos Bolt, funzii's gonna go down. But Goblak is here, he's dropped the Tombstone, Miggel's dropping low, he's eating a lot of Ion Shell damage. A little bit of juking around, we'll save his life for the time being, he still goes down. So, a 1-for-1 trade between the mids. Tough to say who that favors. But, down at bottom, they get another kill onto Miracle. That poor Crystal Maiden who... Nice use of Call Down and Harass. I like that usage. But this Crystal Maiden just gonna be having a pretty bad time. 350 gold. She might get her brown boots before 10. No, not before 10 minutes. Maybe she'll get them before 15 minutes. She'll be lucky. Lucky if she can. She'll really sell those tangos. I'm always watching for when the support Crystal Maiden gets the boots. funzii, he might go down again. FlipSide, they are tearing funzii up. And so that's level 6 on Io. The relocates could start happening here. Quanic's gotta be feeling nervous. Do they have... They've got the sleep up on fuckingmad, so... Well, I should say, it's skilled, but it's already been used. Must have been used for that last kill on Miracle. Oh, sockshka. He used a 2-second Chaos Bolt. Can he make it out? I don't think so. So that's another kill going the way of the Wisp Chaos Knight combo. Relocate. He's pulling... Oh, the call down is blown. So this relocate, they're probably just going to go right back in. They will be happy to do that. Although, no, it looks like they're just going to sacrifice ryze. They don't want to risk giving up a kill on Mania. ryze not able to get to the creep wave fast enough for a tether. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but sockshka is way more valuable than ryze, and Mania lives.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, look at those brown boots on Crystal Maiden. Look at her, she's bossing it up. So unfortunate for FlipSide that they have to use the relocate defensively, but that's really not such a big deal. Mid tier 1 goes down. Mania gets that last hit. As I mentioned, the change in 6.78 where there's now no lost gold for a hero picking up the last tower hit, or the last hit on a tower. It actually produces more gold for your team and a lot of gold for your carry. So it's actually more important than it ever has been for carries to pick up the last hits on towers, and so getting that for Mania, it's a nice little win there. It's kind of like getting a hero kill. Miggel's slowly working his way towards a Blink Dagger. His farm is not fantastic at this point. He really did not do well versus funzii mid. That said, funzii, with all of his deaths, he's in basically the same spot. But the ability Bat Rider to farm exceeds that of Puck by a pretty fair amount. Costs less mana. Oh, there's a relocate onto sockshka. He surges away, still gets the reality rift. 2-second chaos bolt. Will that be enough? There's the tether. A few more auto attacks and he should go down. He pops the salve. Finished off. There's the sleep. Oh, the sleep was up on fuckingmad, but I think realizing that the relocate was just about to end and did not want to blow the sleep for no reason. It would also be nice for him to hit level 11 before he uses it, because at this point in the game, if he uses the sleep, it's a 180-second cooldown. And so by the time he hits level 11, it might still be on cooldown. And classic support Naga build, picking up the mana boots. Unicorn. Might pick up this kill on Goblak. I live through the moat. There's a net onto Miracle. He'll immediately try and TP. Will it go down? Does not. Able to save. Oh wait, no, he does go down. I thought I saw the animation for him TPing through. Meanwhile, a relocate gank. Up into the jungle, picks up a kill on funzii once more. Funzii is not getting his farm. I don't know when we're going to see the Blink Dagger on Bat Rider this game. That's a huge problem for Quantic. FlipSide is doing a great job keeping Bat Rider down. This game is... it's weird. I don't know how to predict exactly how this is going to go. I think it's favoring FlipSide because the Wisp and Chaos Knight combo is working out very nicely. Unicorn, he's getting farm. He's actually the most farmed hero on FlipSide right now in terms of last hits. Let's take a look at net worth. Mania, with all of his kills, he's actually up at the top and well on his way towards a BKB. He's got treads and a drum. Oh, there's a relocate down at bottom. Will Silent go down? There's a reality rift. 3-second chaos bolt, easy kill. This is Wisp Chaos Knight 101 right here. You see that lone hero down at bottom. They've got they've actually a very intelligent ward here. Part of the reason they're able to do that is because of this ward. Know that there's no nearby support, and oh, Goblak. There's the sleep hop from fuckingmad. Will save his teammate. There's a teleport in from sockshka. Are they going to be able to do this? Riptide, net onto Miracle. Nice. Actually, very nice vacuum cancels the relocate. No, never mind. What am I? I'm smoking the grass here. There was no relocate there. So I thought for a second that Ryze was going to save Mania and pull him out. But nice turnaround from Quantic. They're able to use the sleep, pick up another kill on Miracle, who is the majority of their kills at this point in the game. Miggel tried to pop in there. He's got his Blink Dagger. Wanted to use the Drink Coil, but wasn't quite close enough. Too close to the tier 2. Nevertheless, FlipSide, they've got map control right now, and look at these aggressive wards all over the place. Excellent work from the supports on FlipSide, and this is exactly what you need to maintain a strong lead. So at this point, after that last fight, I mean, honestly, there's only 3,000 golden experience going the way of FlipSide, so their lead is not huge. And careful play from Quantic can save them here. 1,900 gold on funzii. He may finally be able to pick up that Blink Dagger. And if he can,
invisibility.
It's going to make a big difference. Oh, Miggel, he pops the Dream Coil onto 2. Goblak, he goes down. Relocate in from Mania and Ryze. And Silent drops like a rock. Oh, there's a
bottom tower is under
Funzii.
attack.
He's got his blink dagger. He's got lasso. There's a freezing field popped by Miracle, but he's too close to the tower. That was a bit of a waste there. Unicorn, he's running away. He doesn't have a lot more mana. Has enough for the time lapse, which is what really matters. So 2 kills going the way of FlipSide, almost looking a little dangerous there. Potentially diving the tier 2, but thinking better of it, backing out and making sure that
Radiant's
they
middle
didn't
tower is under
overextend and
attack.
lose the lead that they have. And most importantly, they didn't give an opportunity for Funzii to jump in and lasso somebody back, because that would have been Quantic's ticket to make something out of that fight. So let's do the item roundup here. Arcane Boots picked up on Goblak, Yasha and FaZe, as well as a Ring of Aquila on Silent. So his mid-game items are here. Auto attack damage is not,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
but he's got a little bit of
Radiant
HP
structures are
and
fortified.
some mobility. Fuckingmad, he's got his Arcane Boots as well as an Urn. Going hard support this game. Oh, there's a lasso, very deep. They're gonna find Miracle once more. They're making life hell. There's a Dream Coil onto 4. Wasted Waning Rift.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
no
is
illusory
under
orb
attack.
used. I think he was feeling a little nervous.
Dire's bottom tower is under
He could have hit 5 heroes with that illusory orb, and I think that would have made for a good turnaround from Ryze and Mania. So I don't know how I feel about that play from Miggel, ultimately wasting the Dream Coil. And Quantic, since they're grouped up, they're feeling sassy. They'll start putting some damage onto the mid tier 2. Kind of doubt they're going to stick around for this. They are still behind, and there is still a pretty fat Mania in this game. He's just 150 gold away from his BKB, and that's probably the word go, and maybe the reason why FlipSide has not wanted to take this fight quite yet. But because they got the sleep up on fuckingmad, I think Quantic probably feels pretty okay about their chances in a team fight here. And poor Miracle, he's gone down 6 times this game. That's actually 6 out of the 8 kills for Quantic, which, when you think about it that way, it's really 12-2 in this game. Nevertheless, kills, I mean, the kills are kills, and that's still a lot of gold and a decent chunk of experience, even if it's the least valuable hero on FlipSide. Ryze, he's picked up his mechanism, Mania's survivability, he's just picked up his BKB, he's ready for a big relocate gank. Or just a team fight, either one is probably good with him. Sockshka, with his fantastic farm, well, Miggel jumps in, there's the Dream Coil onto 2, there's the relocate in from Mania, he's coming in from behind, there's the sleep, it's going to save them for the time being, and the tombstone is here, building up the zombies. Call down his drop. Excellent execution from Quantic. Mania, he's dropping really low. They are going to make it out. So the initiation for... Oh... Unicorn, is he going to get out? There is no gem here, so they won't be able to finish him off. But great response from Quantic. They timed that perfectly. I think the only criticism I might have there was just that if they'd been a little bit faster, they might have been able to get Ryze and Mania. But the relocate teleport pulling them out. Actually, what the... I guess I called that wrong. Mania does go down in that fight, as well as Miggel, so that's a huge fight for Quantic. Huge fight. And that's going to give them the Roche. Whoever picks this up, that's going to be... It's probably Silent, I would imagine. Wow. Guess it's getting a little bit late. I guess I keep imagining that the relocate has pulled them out. I saw it drop down to 1 second. I thought for sure that Mania had been pulled out, but no. So even better fight for Quantic. Naga Siren showing to be a very effective tool against Chaos Knight and Wisp. In fact, it's really hard for FlipSide to deal with. If Mania, I think Mania's big mistake there was not popping his BKB. If he had popped the BKB and the Phantasm, he would have been dealing damage regardless of the sleep. And I mean, Goblak was so low there were a lot of very low heroes because of the initiation from Miggel, and he probably could have turned that fight around. So it was a great play from Quantic, but I think a small misplay from Mania costing him dearly. The only disadvantage of popping the BKB is that he's the only one not being slept and kind of turns himself into a target. That said, he's Chaos Knight, and I don't think the sleep cancels tether, so he still would have had that going for him. Not to mention, I mean, the sleep was relatively close to ending by the time that the relocate had finished porting in. So I really think that the BKB usage could have changed that fight entirely. So funzii, he's working on his 4-staff. He's most of the way there. A BKB picked up on Silent, which will be very important for him. Universe, or I look at Weaver. I've seen Universe play Weaver so many times, so I look at Weaver and I see Unicorn and I see Universe. Unicorn, he's almost got his Lincoln Sphere. He's going to need a lot more to have a presence in this game, though. It's basically up to him to just keep farming for a long time. Now, even with that one fight and the Roche, FlipSide maintains map control. Any out-of-position heroes in Quantic, and they will go down, no problem. Oh, speaking of which, funzii, he's a 2-second Chaos Bolt. funzii, he's dropping really low. But the mechanism is there, he's going to make it out! The tether breaks. Mania's got to be really careful, he gets the lasso, he's pulled back into the tower. He's dropping really low. Late BKB pop, and he's, in fact, still looking for funzii. This is a very ballsy move by him. Is able to pick up the kill, but there's no support from his team. So, I don't know. I do not know about the decision there. I feel like he might have been able to make it out ryze. Tether's away to safety, away from sockshka. I don't know. I feel like he might have been able to walk out with that BKB popped. There's not a lot of physical damage on Quantic right now. There's still not a lot of farm going around, and Silent, his damage is not particularly out of control at this point. And Chaos Knight's really tanky. That said, if he were to go down, it's better for him to get a kill. But a kill on funzii, now that he's got his Blink Dagger, is not quite as important as it was before. Sockshka, his farm looking pretty solid. Mechanism, Soul Ring, Arcane Boots, and a full pipe is finished on him. That's going to be really good for Quantic. They don't have a lot of physical, magical damage, but it's there, primarily from Miggel and some from Miracle. So it'll just help them be that much tankier and resist the burst damage that FlipSide has.
Radiant's courier
Oh.
has been killed.
Now there's a problem. I'm not sure where that dropped. Huh. Well, I'm a little baffled as to where the courier went down. It's pretty unfortunate for FlipSide. Didn't have anything on it. That's the upshot. The Quantic, they're ready to take their second tower of the game, closing that gap a little bit. As FlipSide, they have 4 towers to their name.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
FlipSide, I feel like if they need to make something happen here, and actually they're just about to do that. Goblak, they see him down in the forest to eat the Chaos Bolt, but there's a lasso onto Mania. If funzii can pull him away, he doesn't have the 4-staff, so he's not able to. Pops the Phantasm, sockshka is here. He's eating a lot of damage. Io goes down. This is the important part. There's no easy out for Mania. I said, he's dealing so much damage. He's able to get outside of the call down. Miracle, he's dropping low. A few auto attacks from Silent, and he could still go down. So Silent picks up the kill onto Miracle. Mania, meanwhile, he's still manning up. How the fuck is Goblak still alive? He's the one that got initiated upon. And so Quantic, they're gonna turn this into a 3-for-2. In fact, there was actually, it's a 4-for-2 because there's a buyback from ryze, who's not able to get back in the fight in time. Really wanted to help his team out, but great fight from Quantic. They were all able to get there, and they didn't even have to use the sleep or any of their major team fight. Outside of the wall. They did use the wall. But the wall is very effective versus Chaos Knight. It provides a lot of damage versus a stat-heavy hero like Chaos Knight. And I don't feel... Miracle provides very little in these fights. Imagine if this were a Shadow Demon. He could provide some major turnaround potential and help the burst damage. He's not taking anybody out of the fights at this point. He can't get close enough for a freeze. I don't know. The Crystal Maiden pick is not paying off for FlipSide in this game. And is at this point 0-7. That's 7 kills. That's still half of Quantic's kills in this game, and these kills on Miracle have kept them in the game and make these team fights even juicier for them. So I don't know. I feel very uncertain about the Crystal Maiden in this game. Unicorn really needs to show up in these fights. He can't do a whole lot. He's still relatively squishy, and he goes for a very, I would say, passive build with the Aquil and Drums. Not picking up a lot of damage yet. He is, relatively tanky, mobile, but, the Weaver needs damage, and I think that's the problem for Quantic in these fights, is they're not able to deal the damage fast enough. Mania's farm has really slowed down in the last few minutes. Golden XP just about even. But because his farm is slowed down, he doesn't have something like an armlet. Or any other... Oh, there's a relocate up on the top. And they take down Sockshka. This is a very tanky hero. This might not work out. Miggel, he doesn't have a lot of mana. And good response from Quantic. They're all up here. It's going to leave Mania and Ryze to escape with the end of the relocate. Miggel, he can't stick around here. Funzii not able to find him in time. So ultimately no cost for FlipSide. I don't think that going on Sockshka is really ideal. I mean, this is Darkseer. Besides the fact that he's got a mech, a pipe, so he's not going to take any magic damage. He's got the surge. He has a heal. I don't know. Just doesn't seem like a viable target. So a lot of time wasted for FlipSide, and they're not making anything happen here. And so as mentioned earlier, with the Nagasiren support, you can go for support items early on, and then you can transition into a carry build, and that's what we see here. She's got the Yasha working towards a heart with that vitality booster, making her a lot tankier, making sure that she won't get bursted down before she can pop the sleep. Because that sleep is still a wild card on these fights that FlipSide has only had to deal with once. They haven't even seen the full force of it. And it's only going to get stronger because the team fight, particularly because, like, once they get the level 3 wall... Oh, there's... Funzii, he's flying. Will they find Mania or Ryze? They've got this ward here, but they don't see them quite yet. They choose to back out of the jungle. They did not know how close they were. There's actually a post, fuckingmad has started a blog, and there was a post from him recently about the value of vision in winning games. And it's absolutely true that vision is probably the most important aspect
Dire's top tower is under attack.
For pushing, for team fights, for overall control of a game, and for informing your decision making. Knowing where the enemy is and knowing where they aren't is all important. Because all of these players, they play Dota all the time. None of them are under-practiced. Some teams might be under-practiced as a team, so their coordination can be off or their communication can suffer. But you have to assume that they're using all of their skills appropriately in a timely manner. It's Roche, second Roche of the game, going towards Quantic. Silence will pick up the Aegis. FlipSide looking for a bit of a trade here by pushing in top, but there's the sleep pop by fuckingmad. Their aggression will... Oh, with a relocate. Basically sacrificing Miggel and Miracle. The lasso used on a Miracle, making sure he doesn't get away. Miracle tries to TP out. No such chance, the flame break breaks that. And I don't know. I think this is a problem. Look at this. The zombies don't know what to do. They look so sad. Look at them. They don't have anybody to hit. Miracle and Mania, or Mania and Ryze, leaving too soon. So FlipSide's they look for a trade there and they don't find it, ending up giving 2 valuable kills to Quantic as well as the Roche, and they could challenge the Roche. They can't be afraid of the sleep all game. They have to deal with it sometime. And they certainly can't leave the sleep to be used aggressively. So I think giving up the Roche was not a good idea there. Plus, they don't have the farm to be like blowing through towers. There is no AC or some such item to help with their pushing power. Unicorn is finally getting his damage up. He's almost completed his MKB. No items up yet on Miracle, but he does have his phase and 2 bracers. Had that for a while. 4,300 gold on Miracle. He could pick up a beefy item in the near future. See if he chooses to go with the Armlet. He could also go for a Satanic. Or a Heart. I think a Heart would probably be the ideal. Quantic, they're grouped up mid. Booth of Travel picked up on funzii, so he's able to immediately join. That's going to help his initiation even more by boosting his move speed.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So Ryze and Mania, they're up and bottom, looking for more trades. But this isn't. I don't know about this decision. And FlipSide's looking for the split push as much as they can. They have to. But I don't know about this. A base race here. It's very dangerous indeed. The Phantasm has been popped by Mania. And actually, FlipSide is burning through the racks a lot faster. They're going straight for top. They just want to burn through all the towers as fast as possible. It's a Dream Coil onto Silent, but he's got the BKB. So FlipSide, they find 2 towers, as well as the bottom racks. But if they give up Mania, this is not worth it. Can Mania survive in this? He needs to fight. He can't just run away. He can't. He doesn't have a TP. Mania, what is the decision here? Why do you do this? Just fight. I don't know what why he made that decision. Meanwhile, oh, there's the sleep pop from fuckingmad. Tombstone is dropped. There's the call down. Miggel manages to dodge the call down with a nice phase shift. Orbs away. So he'll be able to make it out of this, but Miracle does not. And this trade from FlipSide, perhaps they feel that they can't handle the fight. They may not have wanted to go into a fight against an Aegis. But I don't know. I mean, ultimately they do find an even base trade, so it's not the worst in the world. If it's not as bad as if they had lost a fight and still lost the racks. So I shouldn't be overly critical. But long term, I don't see this really working out. The anti-push, oh, there's a relocate up top. The sheep is finished on Miggel, used on sockshka, but funzii is here. He pops the lasso on Miggel. Miggel's dropping low. Sockshka is still alive because he's so tanky. Time lapse used by Unicorn to reverse all of that damage. Tether used on Unicorn to bring him out of the fight, and so a 1-for-1 trade. Trading Miggel for sockshka. Sockshka buys back. I think sockshka is really okay dying at this point. His primary items are up now, and Miggel is really, he's underfarmed at this point. He's not doing too bad, but he's sitting rather low on that list. He's below the support Naga Siren. All he's got is the Blink and the Sheep Stick. Both very valuable items, but FlipSide, they're relying on the full impact of their Tricore. They can't just have Chaos Knight be the only one dealing the damage. And Unicorn, he has yet to... I believe he was what popped the Aegis on Silent, so he's doing something. But he's very easy to burst down, and they've got the chain stun. They also have ways to interrupt... Oh no, funzii. He's got the lasso in 2 seconds, but he's eating so much damage from the Phantasm. Mania's dealing a lot of damage. damage. Silent, he's ready to man-fight this. Tombstone is dropped by Goblak. Ryze, he's been slowed by all of those zombies. No chance for him to make it out of this. The sleep is popped by fuckingmad. We're going to leave Unicorn alone here. He's already popped his time-lapse. Is there a gem to see him? Miggel jumps in, pops the Waiting Rift, orbs out. Doing some damage, Vacuum pulls them back. Silent. He's taking a lot of damage from Unicorn. Unicorn, one more auto attack. Can he do it? Yes, he can. So Unicorn, he's finally starting to show up in this game. But it is nevertheless a 4-for-1 so far in this fight. Can Unicorn escape? There's still, yeah, sockshka is not going to continue the chase. Does not want to try and hunt down a Weaver. So, gotta look at the buybacks here and see what that fight. So there's a buyback from funzii, a buyback from miggel, buyback from sockshka in the previous fight. That makes that fight a 2 for 3 or a 2 for 4 in favor of Quantic. Mania still goes down. Unicorn picks up the kill on Silent and almost takes down Goblak. Very awkward fight. I feel like the coordination from FlipSide is really starting to fall apart. They just seem unsure of how to deal with the sleep. And Ryze, he got separated away from Mania because Mania just kind of ditched him, but he still ended up going down. I don't know. It's tough to say. There's a smoke popped up onto 4 here from FlipSide. I would love to find a pickoff, because at this point in the game, either team can GG it. There's the relocate up top. funzii, he gets sheeped. He does not have a buyback if he goes down. BKB popped on Mania. 1 crit sends him to his grave. sockshka, he's taking a lot of damage. Tombstone is dropped, but it gets blasted apart by Mania. Reality Rift brings him back, but oh no! The tether is not cancelled. They finish off the gyrocopter, but Silent is here. He's got a lot of damage. He's ready to pump out. So Miggel goes down. I have to question the decision by Ryze not to cancel the tether, because Mania, he could have gotten at least 1 more kill there, and because Mania wasn't there to deal with Silent, I don't know. So a 2 for 2 does favor FlipSide, I believe, because they take funzii out of the fight, and without a lasso, it's a lot harder for Quantic in these fights. That said, fuckingmad, he pops to sleep. He's got his defusal, a manta style. He's looking ready to start semi-carrying. Call down is dropped. Vacuum makes sure that Unicorn can't escape. Mania pops the Phantasm. He's dealing a lot of damage. sockshka, he could go down. He does. No, he does not. One more right click. Unicorn, he drops. Ryze, he gets the net popped on him. This is a 3 for 1. Oh, the Naga Siren is really starting to show force in this game. fuckingmad deals a lot of damage in these fights because of the minus armor, which synergizes so nicely with the flat cannon. And I have to say, I love support Naga Siren. I think it's nice to see this usage of a hero in the game where they don't just farm up. They're not a carry that farms up for the first 20-30 minutes of the game. They're very active, in fact, and very useful, but then transitions into out of a support role, making room for other heroes like Batrider and Darkseer to get their early game items, and then switching over to a carry role. So the supports that got their early items can then fill in that role later in the game. I just think it's an elegant way to use a hero, and just Naga Siren provides so much utility. So many ways to use that sleep, and Quantic has been putting it to great use all throughout this game. It's a very nice combo with the call down. Basically guarantees the call down is going to land, and sockshka's been further making sure with his vacuums, keeping Unicorn in there, helped lock down those kills. This is where I question the Lincoln Sphere a little bit. I mean, it's sort of necessary because Unicorn, if he gets lassoed, then he's totally boned. if there's any other damage source besides funzii. But it doesn't have any damage or... I mean, it's survivability. Just, it's frustrating to see Weaver not being able to do much. I feel like a BKB in this game really might be more effective. But then again, could just be splitting hairs. Quantic's ready to take the third Roche of the game, so this will be cheese. At this point, the Roche will probably put them up to a 10,000 gold lead and a 15,000 experience lead. At 42 minutes, 15,000 is not overwhelming, but it's still a pretty healthy chunk. The cheese, that's up on Goblak right now, but they may be willing to pass that around. funzii, he's going for... he did this in the finals of the DreamHack Summer. Picking up the Mask of Madness. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't the finals. That was Mouse Sports versus Alliance. And it was... Oh, it's going to bother me, I won't be able to remember. But Mouse Sports picked it up. And you get the Mask of Madness to increase the distance. Oh, silent. Immediate TP out. He'll be okay. Does come close to dropping low, so he's not invincible. But you get the Mask of Madness on funzii, basically to give yourself a haste rune, especially because he's got Boots of Travel. Once he pops that, I mean that's plus 30% movement speed, which that's pretty much a haste rune. Oh, ryze. Farewell, ryze. We barely knew ye. Fuckingmad picks up the last hit there. And a kill like that, that's costly. I mean, it is just a wisp, but that means you're out of your very powerful support who has Vlads. Vlads is critical for Mania in these fights. He's got to have that lifesteal as well as the armor. I mean, he's only got 12 armor, and Riptide reduces 5 of that. Really big damage enhancement that Vlad's totally negates. So he's really important to be alive. Mania. Oh, there's the lasso onto Mania. He tries to split push while Quantic does their thing at top. The wall is dropped here. Vacuum back in. Miguel's taking some damage. Freezing field pop by Miracle, but he's just going to go down so fast. Silent. He's looking really deadly at this point.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
And this will probably be a second set of racks. Buyback from Miracle. Oh, that's so sad. He pops the BKB and tries to get the Reality Rift. Sockshka, he gets pulled back in, but the sleep, there's the sleep. Quantic's ready for the combo. They pop the call down. Oh, it's brutal. It's so brutal. Mania, he's actually saved by ryze, so he gets pulled back into the well, so he's alive for now. But still, Unicorn goes down. Excellently executed team fight from Quantic. Unicorn buys back. He's dealing a lot of damage to fuckingmad. He's got to be careful. And actually, there's another relocate. Back in. Mania, he's got to stay with ryze. ryze is the only way that he's going to live through these fights. But with a defusal, fuckingmad says, no way you're getting anywhere away from me, ryze. There's a buyback from ryze. But the top racks nevertheless go down. So 2 racks down in favor of Quantic right now. fuckingmad, he doesn't have any survivability here. He's got to be careful. Silent. He pops the Aegis. Lasso gets used on Unicorn. Unicorn's out of the game now. He's already used his buyback. He won't be coming back anytime soon. There's a buyback from fuckingmad. ryze, he's dropping low. If he goes down, he's gone. He has no buyback. Mania, he picks up the last hit on Goblak. Blink away from funzii. Mania's got to be careful here. If he goes down, this could pretty much be it. Buyback from Goblak. With the support from funzii, I don't think there's anything that Mania can do about this. And that looks to be the end of days for FlipSide in this best of 3. Mania's out of the fight for 70 seconds. Unicorn's out of the fight for 50.
Radiant's middle tower.
And I don't think that Silent actually went down in that fight. Miggel will delay this as long as he can, but there's just not much that he can do. And FlipSide calls a GG, right as the throne is about to go down.
Dire victory.
A very close game. It was really even for the first 30 minutes of this game. But I think there were at least two major problems for FlipSide. They did not... I mean, honestly, there was one fight could have changed everything, where in mid, the first major use of sleep in a team fight, if Mania had popped his BKB first, used his Phantasm, he could have finished off Goblak, he could have finished off Sockshka, and it would have been A-OK. But because he didn't pop the BKB, he sat through the whole sleep, and that was the end of the fight for FlipSide there, and that was basically what every team fight was for FlipSide. They needed more BKBs. I feel like the reason, like, you know, Lincoln Sphere is a fine pickup on Weaver. It's a very normal thing to get, especially when you're faced up against a Batrider with Lasso. You really don't want to be getting lassoed, and Snare is equally dangerous. However, the sleep is really the bigger issue. Because they were constantly getting locked down, and that gave Quantic all the time in the world to set up the call-downs, the vacuums, followed up with Flame Break and Riptide, Tombstone. There's lots of really good setup in AoE from Quantic, and you just can't give them the ability to do that every single time. You gotta get a BKB. So, the lack of BKB on Weaver, I think, is a big factor. I think not appropriate usage of BKB from Mania certainly didn't help. And I would also say the Crystal Maiden pick, Crystal Maiden 0, 13, and 6 in this game, that's not what you want to see on the support, ever. I mean, it is Crystal Maiden, that's what's going to happen, but they didn't make use of the aura, and this is why I'm such a fan of maxing the aura. Like, don't get max Frostbite and max Crystal Nova. You're going to cast 2 spells and never have mana in a fight again. He didn't get the mana early, and that, I feel like, hindered the lanes of FlipSide more than it could have, and I don't know, it just... Perhaps a different skill build could have changed it, but regardless, Crystal Maiden didn't offer a lot for FlipSide in this match. Nevertheless, it was a great matchup. Quantic really showing that they're like they gave away a Wisp Chaos Knight, and they knew what they were doing. And I think this establishes Naga as a very viable counter pick. Like, very strong indeed, and I think that's pretty cool to see. I look forward to more games between Chaos Knight Wisp and Naga Siren. I think it's very exciting. Thank you for watching. I am Cranberry Thunderfunk. You've been watching the Thunderfunking DotaCast. If you enjoyed my analysis, then please, I've got a YouTube, youtube.com/thunderfunking. Subscribe to it or check out my other videos. I've got a Twitter, Thunderfunking. I've got a Facebook, Thunderfunking. If you search for Thunderfunking, you're going to find me. So if you enjoy my work, then please support me, and I will be most grateful. So, thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a lovely night.